In this segment, we're going to take a look at using WaveJamr with a home stereo system, a home theater, a soundbar, bookshelf speaker system, basically any sort of fixed audio system. Before we get started, we need to go around to the back and make the connection. So we're going to grab our WaveJamr, and in this case, there's no docking port on a system like this, so we're going to use the included audio line out cable. So we'll go ahead and make that connection. Got a port on top of the WaveJamr. In the other end, this particular system has a 3.5 in, so we merely need to connect to that port. And if your system has a 3.5 in, by all means use it. But if your system does not, if it has a conventional RCA jacks, this one happens to have both, we're going to use the accessory cable. This is a female 3.5 to dual RCA, and we'll just connect our included line out cable to that, and then connect our RCA jacks. Really simple, red to red, white to white, sort of the universal color scheme for left and right. And then what's left to do is to power the WaveJamr. Now this is very easy to do. All we need is just a typical USB to 30-pin charge and sync cable. And I know lots of folks have lots of these laying around. We have them available as well. This happens to be a 2-meter cable that we have. It's nice if your outlets are distant and you need to cover some ground, so this gives you, over 6 feet of cable. And we simply, make the connection to the WaveJamr's 30-pin port, and then the other end is going to connect to our USB power supply. So, and you can use any USB power supply, but just one note here, power supplies vary in terms of how the voltage is regulated, how it's filtered, and that can have an effect on how the audio sounds. Not so much on how the audio sounds, but what kind of noise you have when it's quiet. So the Apple AC to USB chargers, they work very well. The RadTech line of DC and AC chargers, they're made with audio in mind, so they're nice and filtered, delivered a very stable, quiet output. So we merely, make the connection to the USB charger, plug it in, and we're all set. So, these cables, you can wind them up neatly and just sort of, tuck them behind your system. One thing you might want to be cognizant of is, Bluetooth uses antennas, so we generally, to maintain the best range possible, we don't want to surround the WaveJamr with a bunch of metal. Metal blocks, radio waves, so we want to keep it, somewhat out in the open. Behind the system like this is fine, but if you were thinking about maybe stuffing it inside this, base port or something like that, might not be the best idea. You can certainly experiment, and if it affects your range, simply move it. Okay, so that's the basic connection. Now I want to show you something that is kind of neat that you might want to do, and we'll just go ahead and remove everything. What I've done on this particular system is I've simply purchased an inexpensive sort of universal dock, and I've attached it via some double stick tape right to the top of my subwoofer cabinet here. And what's nice about that is, we can pop the WaveJamr right on that, and this is great if, maximum range is desired. With the WaveJamr out in the open, no problem getting 50 feet or more of open air range. So when you do something like this, you'll need to make 2 connections to the actual dock. So the dock has a line out port. We'll go ahead and we can use our included line out cable. I've also added a little cable clip here. This is called the cable drop. We sell these as well. We make our audio connection. Again, if you had only RCAs, just use the RCA adapter. And then we need to get power to the WaveJamr. And I'm just going to use a black cable in this case, in keeping with the style of everything here. So we'll connect our 30-pin cable there. And then this end, of course, is going to, travel down and connect to our charger, wherever that's located. So now we've got a sort of a nice clean look. WaveJammer's up top. This is nice if you have one WaveJammer that you're going to move around. So, it's really easy to just, pop it off, take it out to the car, take it to another room. So that is integrating a universal dock solution into a home audio system. Okay, next, let's take a look at how to integrate WaveJamr into a setup such as a soundbar connected to a television, or for that matter, any setup where you've got speakers already connected to a device. And we don't necessarily want to disconnect the speakers from the soundbar from the television, for example, if we want to stream our music from our phone via WaveJamr. So what we kind of want to do is splice WaveJamr into the existing wiring, and that is very easy to do. So this is a typical television set. We've got speakers connected to it, and this basically is our cable coming from our soundbar or set of speakers. And what we want to do is we're going to use the Y cable that we talked about a minute ago. So we're going to go ahead and plug the male end of the Y cable into our television or whatever device happens to be sending audio to speakers. And we're going to now plug our soundbar cable, which was previously connected directly. We're going to plug that into one side of the Y. And the other side of the Y, we're going to connect the included WaveJamr line out cable. So we make that connection. So as you can see here, the soundbar is still connected to the television, and now we've also added the line out cable for the WaveJamr. We'll go ahead and connect to the WaveJamr, and then the WaveJamr needs power, so we're going to just use our conventional 30-pin to USB cable into WaveJamr. This is already connected to an AC charger basically, and we've got our blue light. We're all good to go. Now we can just sort of neatly route these cables and kind of tuck the WaveJamr in wherever it's convenient. Remember, it's always better when the front of the WaveJamr can sort of point in the direction where the Bluetooth signal would be coming from. So if it's in a living room, don't point it towards the back wall, just point it out into the living space. And we'll just kind of hide our WaveJamr back here with the front sort of facing out. And incidentally, when you're working with speakers like this, or soundbar, whatever it is, it's always better to either turn the volume all the way down or disconnect them from power so that when you're making these connections, you're not thumping the speakers. So we're going to go ahead and power our speakers back up, and we'll take a look at our phone, and we've already connected to WaveJamr. I was previously paired with this unit, so as soon as we connected it, it made the connection. Start a song, and there we go. And again, we've got volume control from our device. And if we wanted to watch the TV, we basically just want to stop our music here,
use however I would like,
and we play our video content. We've got volume control from our remote, just as we normally would. And again, if we want to stream music via WaveJamr, we just want to be sure and turn our TV off, and then we can go back to our smartphone in this case, start up the music, and we've got control from our device. Okay, let's take a look at computer speakers now. I'm sure that everybody probably has a pair of these hanging out somewhere doing nothing right now, so let's show you how to make them wireless. This is very simple. We've got our two computer speakers, and the computer speakers have the 3.5 This is the connection for the audio, and they typically have a power connection. So we've got the power connection plugged into our power strip here, and we've got our typical AC to USB charger / power supply, also a standard USB to 30-pin cable. Everybody's got a couple of those laying around. That's what we're going to use to connect WaveJamr to power, and we're going to plug our speaker cable into the line out jack on the WaveJamr. And I've already paired my phone to this device, so we merely power on the speakers, and let's go into our phone, and it's already connected. I can tell because the Bluetooth icon is dark, and we'll start the music, and there we go. I've already set the volume level to a comfortable listening level on the speakers with my phone at 50%. Once I do that, I've got full volume control from the phone, and now I've just repurposed these old speakers into something useful again.